I spent 2 years on and off hunting in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, and I caught every shiny legendary possible in the Ultra Wormholes. This is post-game content in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. To find legendaries, you need to collect as many of these orange bubbles as you can. They add 1 speed, and dodging the electrical things, since they take away 2 speed. It may seem hard at first, but it gets really easy after a while, and then you can knock out a bunch of legendaries really quickly. You may even phase on some shinies based on how the game works. The more rings the better. That's why when I see a 3-ring one I go into it straight away based on how far I've gone. Like here, I found the 3-ring yellow one. What you do now is you walk up and see if there's a legendary and save in front of it. I'm not going to save here because I already have a shiny. After encountering the Pokemon, if it's not shiny, press the 2 back buttons and select or start. These resets are really quick. They're about 20 to 25 seconds per reset based on your model of your DS. Shiny Virizion was my first one I found. I was quite happy with this one because it just looked like a good shiny. The next Pokemon is Palkia. I found this one under odds. I have a common trend of doing this with Palkia. The next I got was Dialga. I really liked the creation trio, so I wanted to get them done really quickly. This Dialga went over odds and took 14 hours. This isn't too bad, because I then got Giratina in 4 encounters. It was so quick I wasn't even counting the actual time, so I'm quite happy with this. Sinnoh has the best shiny Pokemon, but I'm not too big of a fan of the Lake Trio, but their shinies make them a lot better in my eyes. The Ultra Wormholes are really quick to get shinies. When I got this Mewtwo in 15 hours, it didn't feel like it was that long, with the resets being 20 seconds long. And then double hunting this with a second DS makes them go even quicker. Cresselia has a really good shiny, you can't even argue with that. I like to catch all my shinies in Premier Balls. It just has a nice ring to it, like in the boxes, all of them being white and red look quite nice. With how quick the resets are, it's easy to get into a rhythm. This is what happened with the shiny Latios. I reset on the shiny at 261, but I re-encountered it again at 869, so it wasn't too long to find it again. After getting the shiny Xerneas in 254 encounters, which is quite quick, they wanted to punish me by making me find this shiny Kyogre in 6,385 encounters, 42 hours. This was the longest hunt out of all the shiny legendaries. There's about 30 or so. It was bound to happen. I then found shiny Yveltal. There's no Zygarde in this game, so that's all the shiny legendaries you can get in these games for X and Y. I wasn't afraid to fail any of these shinies. If I seen the shiny, I knew I was probably going to catch it. I used Executor, Harvest, Lepa Berry. Doing this and comboing with Catch Power, I was making sure I was catching all my shinies in Premier Balls, which is my goal with every single shiny I come across. As you can see, some of these shiny legendaries you can knock out in one afternoon. This is really good because they're shiny legendaries, these are meant to be hard to get. Also, shiny Reshiram's shiny is just really good. Lugia has a great shiny, but compared to Ho-Oh, it's just no competition. Doing these hunts on and off would mean I was going to finish it in no time, especially if I just sat down for like a good few weeks and just did it every now and then in the afternoon. I didn't want to complete it too quickly, so I started doing other hunts again. This Pokemon is the worst out of its trio. It's shiny, and just the whole thing about it is the worst out of its trio. There's so many better options. But then you have Shiny Groudon. Shiny Groudon is just really good in these games. I also caught another shiny the same day I found that Shiny Groudon. I found this shiny Regirock just before Christmas. After getting this shiny Regirock, I decided I'll go for all the shiny Regis. I then got Regigigas. It's probably one of the better ones compared to someone like shiny Regice, who just looks like that. I got this one soon after the Regigigas. It just isn't a good shiny whatsoever. This was actually my first shiny legendary of the year of 2025. I slowed down a lot. I took a whole month before I went back to doing the wormholes, but here I found shiny Terrakion. He's probably one of my favourite out of the trio. On the same day of coming back, I found the shiny Uxie. I feel like these shinies are only good because they're so noticeable. Unlike shiny moltres just looks good. I like the pink, and I love how they didn't touch the fire and I kept it red. I finished off the Lake Trio by catching shiny Mesprit. I want to go after all these shinies again, Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl at full odds. A trio that goes 3 for 3 on all bad shinies. Speaking of bad shinies, shiny Zapdos is terrible, even if they made the yellow like a lot darker or just something to make it noticeable. Shiny Tornadus has the same problem as shiny Zapdos. They're just too close and not much of a difference. This shiny is super cool. I love how subtle the pink is on its head. I put off doing shiny Rayquaza because it was distributed in Scarlet and Violet. I then finally bit the bullet and then went and got him. I hope I never have to shiny hunt the Weather Trio again. I hated shiny hunting them. I do love the shiny for Articuno though. I never noticed how close I was to actually catching all the shiny legendaries in the Ultra Wormholes up until I caught shiny Articuno. This is my second time shiny hunting Latias. The first time was in Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl and it went a lot quicker than this. If you were keeping track, you probably knew Suicune was the last shiny I needed. I'm really happy this was my last shiny since it looks really good in game. This is what I used to make sure I never failed a shiny Pokemon. I used Bestow to give them a Lepid Berry. I used Skill Swap to give them the ability Harvest so they can eat that Lepid Berry and never run out of PP and use Struggle. I then use Sleep Powder so they don't kill my Pokemon. This makes it really easy to use it, and if I'm ever struggling I just use Catch Power, which made it really quick and easy to get all the Pokemon. If anyone was wondering, the Kyogre that went over odds up until the 6,000 encounters was probably the best Pokemon there. Everyone else was just really mediocre at best. Turns out I actually had a really good Landorus as well. I would recommend anyone who wants all the shiny legendaries to try this meta. It works really quickly and is a lot of fun to do. I do have a bunch of clips of the shiny Pokemon I found on my phone taken from the camera since I never have a capture card, and even getting the capture card working today was kind of a hassle. I'll probably upload each of those captures as short. There's still a lot more legendaries for me to catch, like all the Tapus in Generation E. Please like and subscribe so I can keep doing this and making my content better.